You're depressed because you aren't creating. You haven't made anything that's yours. You haven't painstakingly pulled something out of your own head and turned it into something tangible that you can share. You aren't working towards anything that's built by you. I'm not here to simplify depression, but when I talk about depression, I'm talking about depression with the lowercase d. My non-clinical definition is a pervasive feeling of dissatisfaction and stagnation that arises when an individual is primarily in a state of consumption rather than creation. It's good to consume. Consuming is what inspires us with new things to create. It's where we gather ideas, learn new perspectives, and connect with the inner lives of others. It's the fuel of creativity, the raw material we shape into something uniquely ours. But when you're only consuming, it's totally lopsided. Everything is going in and nothing is coming out. The imbalance can leave you feeling stagnant and weighed down. You might find yourself overwhelmed by inspiration, but frustrated by a lack of action, like filling a cup to the brim without ever taking a sip. Or you might not even realize that creativity is missing, leaving you completely out of balance. Creation is the outlet that brings balance to your overconsumption. It's the process of transforming all that input into something tangible, whether it's a painting, a poem, a song, or a novel. In a study titled Everyday Creative Activity as a Path to Flourishing, published in the Journal of Positive Psychology, researchers conducted a 13-day diary study with 658 young adults, examining the relationship between daily creative activities and their well-being. They found that engaging in creative activities was associated with increased flourishing the following day. Just as keeping your body in shape is essential to a healthy life, so is the same with creating things. Creativity is not optional, and in fact, it's a uniquely human trait. I came upon this quote from British writer G.K. Chesterton, and its great perspective into the human creative life. Chesterton writes, "That an ape has hands is far less interesting to the philosopher than the fact that having hands, he does next to nothing with them, does not play knucklebones or the violin, does not carve marble or carve mutton. People talk of barbaric architecture and debased art, but elephants do not build colossal temples of ivory, even in a Rococo style. Camels do not paint even bad pictures, though equipped with the material of many camel's hair brushes. Certain modern dreamers say that ants and bees have a society superior to ours. They have, indeed, a civilization, but that very truth only reminds us that it is an inferior civilization. Whoever found an anthill decorated with the statues of celebrated ants? Who has seen a beehive carved with the images of gorgeous queens of old? No, the chasm between man and other creatures may have a natural explanation, but it is a chasm. But it's not just about the act of creating, it's about having something to work toward. Depression often robs us of motivation. Psychologists call it avoliation, or the inability to initiate and sustain goal-directed behavior. When we don't have goals, we start losing a sense of purpose, and without purpose, it's easy to spiral. Building something, anything, helps combat that. It gives your day structure, your brain a challenge, and your heart something to look forward to in its completion. But here's the thing, creativity isn't just about talent. You don't have to be Picasso to feel the enormous benefits. Creativity is simply taking something that didn't exist and bringing it into existence. So here's an idea. Grab a notebook and write down 5 things you want to create. Maybe it's a homemade piece of furniture. Maybe it's a story. Maybe it's a song or a poem. Add something to the world that doesn't exist.